What's up guys, Zac Perna here and welcome back to the series on teenage bodybuilding where I basically talk about everything gym fitness related, and today I'm covering nutrition, so general tips, bulking, cutting, meal prep, how to fit in with what your mum's cooking, and even a few of my favorite cold meals. Let's do it. Alright guys, so it's hard to do this because teenagers is obviously encompassing a lot of years. You've got 13-year-olds who are just starting out, and you've got 19-year-olds that are probably still a bit more advanced and they need to know specifically how to do more things. So I'm going to break it down into general advice for those just starting and those really, especially on the young side. So 13, 14, 15, 16 kind of thing. And then I'll talk a little bit more about the specifics as well. So for the young guys out there, you're 15, you're 14 years old and you want to have a good body, you want to be healthy. I would just suggest, if your goal is muscle gain, I would suggest you eat a lot of food, but a lot of clean, unprocessed, healthy foods. A lot of fruits, vegetables, rices, just limit the processed foods. If your goal is to cut weight, now a lot of kids out there might struggle being overweight. I'm of the opinion that a lot of people say, yeah, the kids will grow out of their puppy fat, da-da-da. I don't really think so. Now I might get crucified in the comments for this, someone always does, but I was a chubbier kid growing up, and I think if I didn't change my habits, I would just keep those habits up. I would keep getting fish and chips after school all the time and keep eating bad unhealthy foods, and I think it actually spirals out of control. So unless you guys want to do something about it, I think there's a way of doing that without setting yourself crazy. So kids out there, 15 years old, young, you want to lose weight, you want to get fit, just eat healthy. Limit processed foods completely. Stop eating fast food, stop eating junk food, don't eat chocolate, don't eat any sugar. Just cut sugar out of your diet. Get rid of it! Gone. And think about your meals as paleo style. That's the easiest way to do it. Just think, what would a caveman eat? So you got meats, vegetables, fruits, just all healthy food. Your body will thank you for this. And generally those foods, they're not very calorie dense. So you feel like you're eating a lot, but in fact you're eating quite a few calories, and so you'll probably lose weight. And I think this way, because the young guys, you don't have to obsess over it. You're just eating healthy and you're giving your body what it needs, and you'll lose weight over time and develop healthier habits. You don't have to obsess over food and think, I've got to get shredded and starve myself. It just doesn't work like that. You want to be eating a lot of food, but a lot of good food. So try that, guys. If you try that and you're not getting anywhere, let me know and I'll try to help you out. And now moving into a bit more specific side of things, I'd like you guys to use this time to educate yourself. So use MyFitnessPal, that's a tracking app. Work out the macros of what are in certain foods, just so you know this. So weigh your food, see what's in it, know how much protein's in a chicken breast. Start to learn about actually the nutrition in food. That's the first starting point you guys have to make. Don't worry about macros and how to set your own. Just worry about what is in food, knowing how much protein and carb and fats are in certain foods, just to get your head around it. So once you've done that, guys, just play around with MyFitnessPal. Now, if you want to work into specifically setting your macros, it takes a while to explain, but I'm gonna do my best and smash it out here. So find your maintenance calories. This is the calories that you need to maintain weight. You can do this by going online, going to the internet, searching maintenance calorie calculator, and start from there. So that's just a baseline. See how you go. Use trial and error. Once you've got your calories, you set your protein. Protein, 1 gram per pound of body mass. For example, if you're 180 pounds, 180 grams of protein. Then you've got the rest of the calories through carbs and fats. So you can split that evenly. That's macros in a nutshell. If your goal is to lean bulk, you want to eat about 300-400 calories over your maintenance. So that's a surplus. If your goal is to cut, you want to be about the same under, 300 or 400 calories under. That's in a calorie deficit. That is as simple as it gets, guys. This is what you're eating to maintain weight. If you go over that, that's muscle gain and fat gain as a result, but that's all right. Under that is a diet. So that's where you burn body fat. If you're thinking, how do I find my maintenance? Like I said, calorie calculator, try it out and just use trial and error to see what your weight's doing. And give it time too, guys, give it time. So if you want to get meticulous with it, use MyFitnessPal, track the foods, write yourself a meal plan, try it out. There is no special one size fits all for everybody, but try it out and then just see what your body's doing. Get in tune, weigh yourself, and then you'll be weighing your foods, you'll be eating the same thing, and you'll see what's going on. Adjust from there. All right, next, meal timing. I think when I was at school, meal timing was my best friend. It's because I had no mates. Now, at school makes it easy for you. You get up, you can have a meal in the morning for breakfast. Recess, you can have a meal, not snacks. Don't be bringing roll-ups and shit. Actually, decent meals. Lunch, you have another meal. After school, another meal. Dinner, another meal. Before bed, another one. That's 6 decent meals. Now, how you time this will be determined by your training time. If you train in the morning before school, either train fast or to have a little meal before, then you have a post-workout meal. The majority of your carbs, get your protein shake in there as well, and then the rest of the meals is normal. If you train after school, which is most people, you'd have a pre-workout meal, so maybe something smaller, probably have tuna and rice straight after school, train, and then your dinner will be a post-workout meal. So that's very high carb, protein, minimal fat if you like, and then you've got a before bed meal as well. Very easy, guys. A lot of people complain. I don't know why they complain. I found school gave me the routine to eat food. Everybody else would be packing their snacks for recess, and I would be bringing in lamb and sweet potato like a freak. But it gave me that like structured time of the day to eat. So I'd aim for about 5 to 6 meals. Now, one thing I want to mention too is meal prep. So meal prep is pretty important. I did a number of things when it came to meal prep. I tried cooking everything on a Sunday for the whole week, and then that way you'd put 3 days worth in the fridge and then about 2 days worth in the freezer and defrost them. But then I got over eating frozen vegetables. It was just gross. I didn't like it. So what I did then was cook every 3 days. So what you guys can do is cook on a Sunday night for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then cook on a Wednesday night for the next 3 days. And that way it's all in the fridge, it's all fresh, and you don't have to cook like 4 kilos of beef at a time. I was running out of utensils and pots in my house that were that big. I had to put everything on like the Barbie. So I would suggest that way, doing it 3 days. If you want to do it the night before, you can, but it is just a little bit more effort and you're probably more likely to forget. So I definitely like to cook my meats for 3 days. So even now, if I'm eating chicken breast every meal of the day for lunch, I'll cook all my chicken breasts on a Sunday, all my breasts, and then portion it out maybe the night before or on the day with rice or whatever vegetables I'm having. That way it is still fresh, but the meat's already cooked, because the meat is the most time consuming thing to cook. So I would suggest you guys do it in blocks of 3, or just do all your meat in one go. Do all your meat. Doesn't sound right. Now I get a lot of questions too, kids saying, my goal is to bulk, my goal is to cut, but how do I fit it in with what my mum's cooking? Because most of you are probably living at home, your mum's cooking normal meals, and it just depends. If she's gonna cook something that really doesn't fit bodybuilding, like if your mum's cooking deep fried Mars bars for dinner, and you think that's probably not gonna fit my macros, then you guys are just gonna have to cook, all right? I've done this before. Your mum's not gonna get offended. She's not gonna backhand you. Just, you need to cook your own food sometimes. So I knew when I was dieting, she'd tell me what she's cooking for dinner, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can't have that. I'll just cook chicken and veg, done. I just did that. Other times I say, what are we having for dinner? She says, we're having steak. I go, oh cool, I'll have that, and I'll add my rice to it. So actually speak, I know it might sound strange, speak to your mum. Hey Ma, can we get some meatloaf? If it's gone to mum, what are you cooking for dinner? And if she's making something that's completely just too hard to work with, you know, then cook your own. Otherwise you can probably work with it. Ma, the meatloaf! Fuck! I mean, most meals, if it's meat and a bit of vegetables or meat and something, you guys can add whatever you want. So if you're bulking, you might want to add some rice. If you're cutting, you might want to just cook your vegetables and have whatever meat it is. You guys really don't need to bust their balls about it. You can fit it in quite easily. And I've done so even when I did my competition. I was still doing so until the last 3 weeks. So I think that's all I wanted to cover with this one, guys. If you do have any questions, if I missed something, please chuck them in the comments. I'll let you know. I'm gonna go cook 3 cold meals. Well, they're gonna be warm, but they'll be served cold. But I'm gonna cook 3 meals that you can have cold that are nice, because I've tried eating chicken breast and rice when it's cold, and it is actually like eating cardboard, and your mouth is so dry. It is just, it's nasty. So I thought I'll cook something that is, you can actually eat cold and it's nice. And otherwise, another tip for meal prep is buy thermoses. I literally just bought some today, and that way you can actually pack hot food with you. So you can microwave it, take it to school, eat it hot, and it might be a game changer. Anyway, let's do it. Phobia, so I won't be touching any chicken with my bare hands.
Are we washing that chicken?
No, I'm not washing my chicken. I refuse. Oh, wait, apparently you're not meant to, actually. Update for you guys. You're not meant to wash chicken because it spreads the germs in the sink. Easiest thing with chicken, I always, if you watch my videos, you know that I just bake it. If you're cutting, it's good because you don't have to use oils. And if you're not, it doesn't matter. You can just cook it in bulk really quickly. And we'll have about 3 tenders per meal. Okay, so we've got some burrito seasoning here. This is literally the extent of meal prep. So we're using a spray here because I got crucified last time for adding like 10 liters of oil. And then we're just gonna put salt and pepper on the rest of those tenders. And this will go in for about 13 minutes. Mint. Here we have some pasta that I prepared earlier. Some lettuce, mayo, avocado, and we'll get some stuff for the burrito bowl as well. So per wrap, we're getting about 33 grams of carbs. So for a decent meal, you guys can have 2 of these. Do you wash your wraps before you use them? Don't forget to wash your wraps, guys. Everybody knows that. Turns out I can't cook anything without somebody just crucify me for one thing. So I better do it myself. All right, bit of lettuce. The old Kewpie mayo. This stuff is just the best. So we're gonna make the pasta salad. Geez, that is rock hard.
That's what she said.
You guys know what time it is. Just a bit, nothing too crazy. And what I like to do with this is chopped up tomatoes and bocconcini and a bit of that pesto. So it tastes great, very easy, it's just like a pasta sauce. A little bit of fats because it's got cheese in it. But if you guys are bulking, lean bulking, then it's not really anything to worry about. But that is just hard.
That's what she said.
It's hard as the devil's dick, Hazy. We won't do too much of this because it is basically just fats, but a little bit makes a massive difference. So this meal will be the pasta, obviously a great source of carbs, very carb dense, and we're gonna put chicken with it as well. Make sure every meal has a lot of protein and then either a bit of carbs, a bit of fat, however you guys wanna do it. Cheese in. All right, let's chuck a bit of this in. That should be heaps. So that will be fine to have cold. Like that is great. You don't need to heat that up. That's perfect. But we just need to put the chicken in. Starting on the burrito bowl, I should have diced up that lettuce. It looks a bit gross, but it's all right. And what we'll do is we'll add rice. So I had some rice going in the background. That was already cooked. Add rice, add the burrito chicken, then we'll put a bit of salsa, corn, beans, whatever you guys want. And then mix it all up, it'll be pretty nice. And I highly recommend you guys go get a rice cooker. If you don't have one, buy one. It'll be the best investment. You'll save so much money instead of using those packet rice. Just got some beans, bit of corn. Definitely not essential, but you know, not gonna be nice. I need a man in this house to open my jars. Hey, if you could open my jar. Yes, thank you, Hafey. Salsa is actually great. If you guys are cutting, salsa is heaven. There's like nothing in it. So that was always a staple of mine of a cutting diet was I'd have this, but a lot of lettuce, a little bit of rice, and then salsa and chicken. And it just makes it so much more interesting. And then another little hack is you can use no-fat Greek yogurt as like sour cream. You barely notice the difference and it's not loaded with fats. So we'll put a bit of this in too. So we just need to add the chicken to these and they'll be done. You guys, these are really good lean bulking meals. So let's say it was recess and you have a chicken wrap, one or two of those. Everybody's different too, guys. So you might need to adjust this. You might need to eat more, or if you're cutting and this is too much, you know, something like take out a bit of the rice and add more vegetables, lettuce, add more chicken. Adjust this to the goals of you guys. And the only way to know if you're doing it right is trial and error. So by all means, try this, see how you go. If your aim is to gain weight and you're not gaining weight, add more, or you know, add more meals. But macro-wise, whether you guys split carbs and fats, you know, in one way or another, it's kind of up to you. Me personally, I am trying a bulk now where my carbs are really high and my fats are a little bit lower, and that's working pretty well. But in the past, I've also done a bulk where my fats are really high and my carbs are quite low. So just see what works for you guys and start with meals like this and experiment with it, play around with it. See what you like. The chicken is done. Watch is telling me. Done. So in the wrap, still 3 tenders. And we'll put 4 in the pasta because they're small. Did I just flick you with? I just flicked Avey and I can see the chicken on his neck. Sorry about that, Avey. Yum. So that'll be perfect to have cold, really high carb, really high protein meal. Definitely don't need to heat that up. Now, if I was gonna pack this with me, I'd just chop everything up, dice it, put it in a container and just mix it all through. But I reckon that looks pretty cool like that, so we'll leave that. Oh, 1 chicken tender left. What are we gonna do with it, Hafey?
Where's Bear?
Actually, let's go feed it, we'll feed it to Bear. Bear! She might be asleep, hang on. Bear, want some chicken? Dude, she's not eating it. Mustn't be hungry, I don't know. Can you guys tell me why my dog won't eat her food? I'm freaking out. That's the meals done. These 3, top 3 meals to have cold if you guys can't heat your food up for some reason. And don't be afraid to eat the same thing every day. I personally love it. So if you really like to wrap, have 2 of those every single day. If you really like this, have 1 of those every single day. It doesn't really matter. But I would advise you guys to be consistent with your food plan. So whatever you're eating, a lot of people message me saying, is this right? Does this sound right? Are these macros good? Literally, there's no way of knowing until you try it. So guys out there, if you're cutting, if you're bulking, whatever your goal is, eat unprocessed foods, set yourself a meal plan, and just try it. Just go from there and adjust from there. If you need to change it, take some food out, add some food in, it's up to you guys. But otherwise, that is it from me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. We'll be making a whole other series on team bodybuilding with more videos to come. And you guys know what to do. Stay massive.
All these sexy jeans in my section and slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.